Hey everybody, Cheap Comic Collector here. This is episode number, what is it? 191. Is that right? No. Yeah, 191. Wow. Okay. So today we're gonna be looking over the Batwing series. I have the whole series. So we're gonna review that a little bit. And then the entire series will go up for sale if you want the whole set. It's a good chance to get it. And but that's what we're doing today. I did get a package in the mail. Let me just turn the camera around. Look at it. And I won this on the Adventurous Joe's channel. He's got a giveaway going on for the holidays, which when you see this will just be a couple days before Christmas. So if you haven't entered his latest giveaway, go to his channel, look up you'll have to look up his past episode. I'm not sure what number it is. And get in on his holiday giveaway because he's giving away a bunch of stuff for the holidays. And I won this a little while back. He was doing a giveaway for a high subscriber count. I think he got to 400 or something. And he gave away a whole bunch of stuff. He gave away toys. He gave away Star Wars stuff. He gave away comic books. And he ended up winning. He's got a really cool way he did the giveaway. He did the wheel like I use, but he did he would use it to eliminate people. So everybody was on the wheel, and then if you spun it and it landed on you, you were eliminated instead of winning something. And then whoever was left actually won something. So it was a pretty cool way of doing it. It was a fun way of doing it. It built suspense, and but this is what I want. It's a Darth Vader bank. Got a coin slot in the back there, which it's hard to see because he's black, but it's right there. Got a plug in the bottom, and yeah, it's just a little Star Wars head ceramic banks in there. So that's cool. I'm not sure where I'm going to end up putting that because I don't want it to get broke. But pretty neat. Thank you, Joe. And in case you're not subscribed to Joe's channel, I'm going to leave a card at the end of the video that will link to his channel. So you can go check him out if you want. And let's see, what else is going on? I am just starting to get through and catalog the books I bought at the Comics Den auction. They got some good stuff. This is like the first issue of Porky Pig that wasn't a Del 4 color. Unfortunately, this one was incomplete. It's missing a centerfold. But it looks like the story is all there, possibly. So got a lot of classics illustrated, a lot of Legion of Superheroes, just a lot of good stuff to go through in all these boxes. And I still have this long box over here that I haven't showed you yet, plus that box on top of eBay wins. I got one more eBay win coming in, and one more one more box of comics that I ordered. It took a while for the guy to ship. He's finally shipping it. I should have that coming in a day or so. So that's going to keep us going for a while between all these Comics Den books and starting to sell stuff and we'll see where we all end up. But things are getting better. I did get the situation with the arcade taken care of as best I could. They haven't called to complain that I didn't take the last of those games out, but they're in for a big surprise if they try to use them. So since I pulled the computers out of most of them. And I also won another Platinum Age book today on eBay that I had bid a couple weeks ago. I bid on all this stuff. I ordered all this stuff before I knew about my financial situation. So yeah, just give me a second to get settled here. I've got my got my notes here somewhere. There they are. Alrighty. So, we got the Batwing series. This was came out in 2011, and this is the first issue, obviously. Now, this is not Luke Fox yet. This is a David Zavimbe, something like that. Zavimbe, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's written by Judd Winnick, art by Ben Oliver, starting out. But Batwing is David Zombie, the Batman of Africa. His civilian ID is he's a police officer. Everybody else on the force is corrupt. They take bribes. They ignore basically everything and anything if somebody pays them enough money. So we're just going to showcase the art a little bit. The art's great throughout this series. And it changes artists quite a bit. But in this first issue, it kind of establishes that he's a police officer working in a corrupt department, and he's battling this bad guy that's after is trying to kill Africa's former superheroes that were known as the Kingdom. And I think this is all new mythology to DC. I don't think any of this existed before this series, but you never know. It's hard for me to research some of that because there's not a whole lot of information out there on the internet about the Batwing series. So as far as like those kind of details, he has an aide that acts as his mentor, kind of, and so he's kind of like his Alfred. And yeah, he's just this first issue just kind of establishes all that. This is his aide here, and he's very new to being a superhero. He doesn't quite know what he's doing, and he gets this is him. He gets stabbed through the chest at the end of the issue. So yeah, but he survives. He's a survivor. And the bad guy's name is named Massacre. I'm not going to show you every issue, the insides of every issue. I'll show you some. But basically in the second issue, Batwing ignores the advice of everybody, ignores his injuries, and he goes after the bad guy anyway. And the bad guy's name is Massacre. And that's about it for the second issue. Not a whole lot happening in the second issue. Third issue, got the cover here. This is kind of a it has flashbacks to how he and his brother were trained to kill as children. They were trained by the government, by this general, and then he battles Massacre again, trying to save one of the members of the Kingdom. And then in number 4, it says the secret origin is unveiled, but not really. I mean, it goes into a little detail about how, and this art was by a different artist. This art was done by Crisscross for this issue only. And the change in artists, they all had similar styles. It wasn't jarring with the change in artists like there is sometimes. So it goes into more detail about his youth and how he was trained by this general and to kill people, but him and his brother wouldn't kill kids or women. So the general had a problem with that, and they ended up basically rebelling and fighting the general that they were supposed to be working for. And his brother gets thrown off a cliff, and the general, I don't remember if the general gets off the cliff or if he shoots him, he hunts him down and shoots him or something like that. But, and then it just flashes back to present where, he's still recovering from his injuries and so forth. But he's going to go after the bad guy once again. And then the next issue is back to Ben Oliver doing the art. And he sets a trap for Massacre with the help of Batman. it fails, but they do track the guy to Egypt. So Batman kind of guest stars a little bit in that one. And then in number 6, he battles Massacre in Egypt. And he has to travel to Gotham because that's where the rest of the Kingdom members reside. There's like 2 left that the guy hasn't killed yet, because they keep failing to stop him. And so at the end of the issue, he's traveling to Gotham, where he interacts with the rest of the Bat Buds there, Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, so forth, Batman, Alfred, and so yeah, new artists starting with this issue. The art is taken over by Dustin Nguyen and Derek Friedolf take over on the art. And like I said, the Bat Family guests trying to protect the remaining members of the Kingdom. That's one of them there. So it introduces quite a few new characters in this opening arc, just to kill them off, really. And we're just gonna page through the art a little bit. Like I said, it's got decent art throughout the series. Then number 8, he finally concludes the first story arc with this issue. So, and Batwing discovers whose Massacre is. It was supposed to be this big reveal, but I saw it coming a few issues ago, so it didn't really surprise me who it was. This first story was a quick read. All the issues were pretty quick read. They didn't have a whole lot of story to them. They didn't really do much to establish the character. There was really no follow-ups on suggested subplots like the corrupt police department or the girl that he likes in the police department. They didn't follow through on any of that. And it's pretty much the whole arc was just a long, drawn-out action movie with very little character interaction or development. There's just not much going on there other than the straightforward story, which does not make for an interesting comic book story most of the time. And then number 9 is a Night of Owls, tie into that storyline. This is another new art team starting in this issue. It's got Marcus Toe and Ryan Wynn on the art. Batwing's still in Gotham. He's getting upgrades to his costume, and basically it's the night of the Talons when they attack prominent figures in Gotham City in an attempt to take back the city for their own. And basically he protects Lucius Fox when they attack. Yeah, it's decent art throughout the series, like I said, and the art, the writing starts to get a little bit better here. It does the writing progresses. It's still the same writer, but he's starting to pay a little more attention to what's going on instead of just phoning it in, you know. Number 10. Let's see, he teams up with Nightwing in this one to take down some smugglers. And he's still working as a policeman. It's not explained how he can travel the world and still come back to his job and still have it. But basically that's what happens. He's back in Africa, but he's also working with Nightwing to take down some smugglers. And the reason I wanted to show you this one, because there's a cool panel with a dragon. This guy right here. This is a new dragon character that's like I forget if he was the captain of the boat or he's in charge of the smugglers or something like that. But they're actually all working for the Penguin back in Gotham City. So that's interesting. And let's see, then 11 comes along. Another new character is introduced in this issue. Wraps up the case with Nightwing, but it introduces Lord Battle, which is kind of a Craven the Hunter type character. Here he is here. But they figure out, that's next issue, that they figured out how to defeat him. So basically his aides family is all killed, and he has to go into this country that is nobody's allowed into to bury him. He has permission to go back and do that. But there's something weird going on in the country where there's a plot. So Penguin sold them a nuke, and they're plotting to take over the world's oil supply or something like that. So, like I said, the writing starts to get better here. It progresses as we progress through the series. The writing gets better. In this one, number 12, Justice League International guests and helps defeat Lord Battle. They figure out that his power is connected to the land, so that if they separate him from the land, then he loses his power. But then that also kills the land because they're interconnected. So I forget what their solution is. They imprison him because he wants to protect the land. He really does want to protect the land. So he basically makes a deal with them to be in prison, but have them not remove him so that the land can still exist. Yeah. So, and also in this issue, there's a character named King Shadow that they introduced at the end of the issue, like it's a teaser for an upcoming storyline, and then they never do anything with him. It's a big, like, one panel page that introduces the guy, and then he's supposed to be kind of manipulating things behind the scenes, and they never progress past that point. And Justice League International that's in here is not a team that I'm familiar with. It's Guy Gardner, Booster Gold, Godiva, and Omac, and a couple other characters that I don't know. So yeah, it was an odd Justice League International team. Then we have the Zero issue. It basically tells the story of David becoming a hero and being recruited by Batman. So it's kind of the transition period between when he was killing people, for the government, and then rebels, and then becomes a hero in his own right before Batman approaches him at the end of the issue. So that's all a flashback, basically. Number 13 introduces a cult led by this guy, Father Lost, and a new supporting character that Batman grew up with. But she's a mercenary vigilante type who's going after the cult because they, I forget why, something to do with people she knew. And finally the story starts getting a lot more interesting with this issue. This is written well. It's still the same writer, so he's improving by leaps and bounds. And they introduce some supporting cast with, actual subplots and things going on instead of it just being what it was. So before that, so things finally get interesting. Number 14, Batwing battles the cult, but they have found a way to control him. So a couple of times they take control over him, and that's not good. So, and then this is number 15. Got a new creative team taking over. Excuse me. Gotta take a sip. And so, yeah, Fabian Xiza and Fabrizio Florentino wrap up the cult storyline. the writing gets a lot better. They're a lot better writers than the previous guy. Even though he improved in leaps and bounds and been pretty good the last 2 issues, it still keeps getting better with this. So just gonna, since it's a new art team, we're gonna take a look at the art. This was his friend that was battling this guy, Father Knight, and I don't want to give too much away in case you haven't read the series, because it's worth reading. It's like I said, it starts out slow and kind of the first 8 issues or so just didn't do a whole lot to establish the character. One thing I don't like is the guy, because of the inexperience of the hero. He's basically he relies on the suit. The suit's powers. It's almost like the suit is the star of the show instead of the guy that's in the suit. So, and then this is number 16. And you got a guest penciler already. This is Alan Jefferson on pencils with various inkers. And in this one, Batwing basically makes a powerful enemy of a rich man because he rearrests his son that was let out, even though he murders women, because of the corruption in the police department. And so he basically captures him again and gets him, proves that he's guilty for another murder and gets him sentenced. And so the father's, basically not happy. His fellow officers aren't happy because he, went against the whole corruption thing. So yeah, that's what's going on there. And then in number 17, we're back to Fabrizio Florentino is back on the art. The rich man's son is broken out of prison, and a couple of Batwing's fellow police officers try to kill him during the prison riot that happens during the escape. So, so he's not having a good day. And then in number 18, he's suspended from the police department. His aide is badly injured. His headquarters is destroyed, all from this rich guy retaliating against him. And then let's see, number 19, new creative team again. Justin Gray and Jimmy Palmiato as the writers. Eduardo Pensica as the penciler. Julio Ferreira is the inker. Yeah, okay. So I got this fold out here on the cover. It's kind of a neat. So there's a good look at the new Batwing, because that'll come into play in a second. And so in this issue, Batwing retaliates against the rich man and his son for everything they've done. The aide dies just when just when the guy gets a backbone and things start getting interesting with subplots and characters, they decide to change it. He quits. He doesn't want to be Batwing anymore, so he quits Batman Incorporated, and then they bring in Luke Fox to become the new Batwing. So it's at the end of the issue. So that's was a bit of a surprise and kind of disappointing, because things were finally getting good. It was finally a good series. So yeah, it was a disappointment. And then with number 20, so you got the new Batwing, right? Got the new creative team. So and kudos for not starting over with a number 1, which would normally be what would happen if they brought in a new character, because but they didn't do that. But they changed everything else. It's the costume's different, the people are different. There's no, they just totally said heck with all the old storylines and went with the new ones. So but didn't change the numbering. So that was kind of weird. But so it kind of sucked that they changed the characters, but they do a decent job with what they're working with. So in this first issue, Batwing battles the Marabunta, is what they're called. These are red guys, and they're kind of like an insect drone tech terrorist group. So they have like these queens that control all the worker drone bodies, and except they are people. They're just stupid people that are easily controlled, I guess, is what they said at one point. And then that he so this is actually Batwing. He uses a drug that they developed from the fear serum that Scarecrow uses to interrogate people. So they inject it with them so they're scared. So this is kind of what they see when he's talking to them, and it's kind of a truth serum combination, fear serum. But this is Luke Fox now, so they're using the Lucius Fox and his family as supporting characters because obviously Luke Fox is Lucius Fox's son. If you didn't know that, Lucius Fox works with Batman and Bruce Wayne as the head of CEO of Wayne Enterprises, and so it kind of ties it all into more of the Batman mythos a little bit, which is probably why they changed the character. They thought they could probably save the series by making it more Batman involved, when they should have just been, concentrating on telling good stories. But anyway, his encounter with the Marabunta leads him to this guy, which is named Lion Mane, and he's going to basically eat him, he thinks, at the end of the issue. And so then in 21, between the last issue and this issue, they kind of establish him as having personal problems in his relationships, kind of like Peter Parker, very reminiscent of Peter Parker. His parents, his girlfriend, doesn't understand what his problem is because he's never where he's supposed to be because, he's out secretly being Batwing. And so it finishes up the encounter with the Lion Mane, and then it tries to build on the supporting cast by doing that. And number 22, the Marabunta return. They kidnap Lucius Fox because he's the CEO of Wayne Enterprises. Batwing, being a new guy, he makes rookie mistakes. So he kind of messes up because he thinks they're after him and not realizing that they're actually after Lucius Fox until it's too late. Then number 23, he actually rescues his dad, and a new assassin named Lady Vic is hired. That's this lady here, to kill him and basically make trouble for Wayne Enterprises. And the new cover. No, that's the next issue. Wait a minute. Where am I at? Okay. I think I wrote that note on the wrong issue. But so anyway, we are going to take a look at the art one more time so we can see this is the new lady assassin. In this issue, she's actually killing somebody in another country, India or somewhere. And she's on the phone while she's doing it with the person that's hiring her to make trouble for Wayne Enterprises. And it's some rich guy that they took away his diamond mine. Batman Inc. Shut down his secret diamond mine, and Wayne Enterprises took control of it, and they won't sell it back to him. So he's mad and wants to create problems for Bruce Wayne. So in the meantime, he's also mad at the bats. So he wants to, he offers a bonus to the assassin if she can kill any of the bats, she gets a bonus of like $1 million or something. Issue 24, they kind of start doing these stylized covers by Darwin Cook. That probably didn't help the series anyway, because the art is still really good inside. This is in no way represents the art that's inside. So I'm not sure why they would do that, but they did. So in this issue, Batwing captures Lady Vic and discovers who hired her. And that's pretty much that issue. And number 25 is a 0-year story of Luke Fox when he was in school. And he tried to help a student that was being bullied. And the bullied student turns into a supervillain. He basically gets mad. He turns himself into a supervillain. And it's a nice setup for a future story. It's basically the origin story of the bad guy that shows up in a couple issues. So very well done on that story. I didn't expect to like that issue, and it was one of my favorite issues. So number 26, back to the stylized covers by Darwin Cook. Batwing's undercover in Rome to shut down the bad guy. The billionaire that's trying to cause problems for Wayne Enterprises, and he's being helped by an undercover agent for Batman Inc., who's very much also, an acrobatic style character. And then we have issue number 27, and this was an odd issue because it starts out you have no idea what's going on. We got a fill-in issue, our art team by Jason Masters and Scott Combs. And basically, the art's a little bit different in this one, as you can see. It's not bad, it's just different. But it also fits what's going on in this story because everybody's basically under the influence of drugs. Luke Fox is under the influence of drugs. His dad is under the influence of drugs. His sister's under the influence of drugs. And they don't know it. It's a hallucinogenic drug that makes them think everything's good, everything's happy. So it starts out with him, everything's good, instead of all his problems like he normally has, everything's good. He's getting along with his dad. They're drinking brews together. They're hanging out. And this guy that's behind it is the villain from the 0 issue that used to be his friend. So he's working, Ratcatcher is working for him, and they're selling drugs all over Gotham. And so all these people are on drugs. It can kill you if you take too much of it. And they're basically doing that. So Luke realizes he's missing days. So he does blood tests and stuff on himself and realizes that he's under the influence of some drug. He gives an antidote to his dad. And what happens? His sister gets taken. This is his sister. Ratcatcher kidnaps his sister. And that's the end of the issue. So, and then in number 28, I wanted to show you this one because this establishes that there's an entire civilization living underneath Gotham City. So, like, this is Gotham City right down up, and this is basically the underground. So this is the under Gotham City. There's like a whole society of people and gangs that are being ruled over by Batwing's childhood friend who became a supervillain. So Luke investigates and tries to figure out where his sister is. Commissioner Gordon is basically telling people that they have no idea what's going on. They're aware of the drug problem. They don't know how to fix it because these people are disappearing because nobody realizes that there's this whole civilization living underneath the city. Which is a little far-fetched, but especially with it being Batman's town and him being in the sewers and getting along with Killer Croc and all that kind of stuff. But whatever, And then in number 29, so he keeps investigating the underground city. The underground city. Batman is trying to figure out where he's at because he can't track his suit down there. And so his sister is found while he's still investigating. He doesn't know she's been found but the damage has been done. She's basically kind of brain dead. She's a vegetable where they're going to have to spoon feed her the rest of her life. And but meanwhile, Batwing discovers the underground city and proceeds to investigate, and basically gets in a fight and gets chased into the river, where he meets up with this river monster at the end, this mutated carp or whatever it is. And in number 30, he escapes the river monster and infiltrates the underground city. Kind of goes undercover, ends up battling a couple different groups, and ends up confronting his childhood friend. At this point, I'm not sure if he knows yet that it's his childhood friend. He does realize it at some point. 31, Batwing battles the bad guy. Yeah, his sister was brought back, but the Ratcatcher, now Ratcatcher takes his little sister. So they're still targeting his family, his sisters. And it doesn't really explain why. Anyway, number 32, this one, we're almost to the end of the series, but this cover I wanted to point out because this is very reminiscent of a Spider-Man cover. Yeah, I mentioned earlier about the similarities with his personal life to Spider-Man, and then this cover comes along where, he's in the middle, and the cracked window kind of creates a web-like effect with all these different characters on the different panels, very much similar to some classic Spider-Man covers. But anyway, in this issue, he saves his little sister, and in order to do that, because she doesn't want to go with the scary bat guy, he has to reveal to her who he is. So she now knows that he's Batwing. She's a little girl, but she's super smart. She's like, a genius level smart, just like Lucius Fox is. So, and then 33, there's an escaped Arkham inmate in this one that I'd never heard of before. And there he is. He's basically on the streets pretending he's a hero. So he's beating up bad guys and pretty much killing them. And so Batwing kind of battles him a little bit, and then Batwing gets sucker punched by these demon things that show up at the end of the issue. So that goes into the next issue, which is the last issue. So we got number 34. It's final issue. It introduces a possible love interest for Luke, so I don't think they intended originally for this to be a final issue. He has a mission that goes well for a change, so they kind of end it on an upbeat note, and then that's the end of it. That's the end of the series. I don't know what happens after that. There is a thing leading into Batwing Future's End, which is this issue. I don't know a lot about the Future's End storyline. This is the first issue of the Future's End thing I've actually read. It's got one of the lenticular covers where it changes, so that's cool. And it's a one-shot, and it's supposed to take place 5 years in the future. So in this issue, Batwing basically sets up all his villains from the series. So it kind of wraps things up sort of a little bit. But you got Lion Mane, you got the Morabunta in there, the character called Wood Ape, which I don't remember being in the series, but and some other guys in there. They may be like villains from Batman Inc., because he's supposed to be an agent for Batman Inc., but they don't actually cross over into that too much. And so basically he sets up all the villains with the help of Batman Inc. He traps them, and they're put into a prison underneath Dinosaur Island. So yeah, it was a fun issue, but continuity-wise, I have no idea where this is supposed to land. So, but it was a fun issue, and it's got that cool cover. So you know. So anyway, that was it for Batwing. Not sure what happened to the character after that. And I know he's been in some Batman issues and Detective Comics and stuff like that. And that's about all I know. So he's still around, I think. This series overall, the series wasn't that bad. It started out slow, but then the writing got better. But it seemed like every time the writing got going where it was going to be good, they changed it. You know, they either changed the creative team, they changed the character, and then same thing with here. Is once it got going, they pulled the plug on the series and it was over. So it seems like they didn't really give it the fair chance that it needed to succeed. And there was some good writing on it in various issues. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I've been trying to read these for a while. They've been in my reading pile for quite a while. I've been kind of ignoring them because, you know, I read that next Batman where they introduced Luke Fox, and I didn't like that at all. So I thought this was going to be him right off the bat, and that I thought it was going to be the same creative team, and I thought I wasn't going to like it. But I did have the whole series, so I wanted to read it, and now I have. And since I've now decided that I'm going to start selling off the modern books, or at least most of the modern books, I'll be keeping some. But I have to find a way for this this to pay for itself, basically, with my new financial situation. So this series is for sale if you want it. I'm basically decided I'm going to charge like $2 an issue. So there's 34 issues in the main series, so that's $68. That includes the shipping. So I will ship to the United States for free if anybody wants to pay the $68 for this entire series. And then there's the Zero issue and the Future's End issue I'll just throw in for free as a bonus. And so if you want that, let me know. It's like I said, it's a decent read. It's not. It's sometimes it's great, and they just didn't follow through on it like you would really want them to. So it's a lot of issues. So yeah, if you want it, let me know in the comments. Send me an email. Claim it in the comments, and then send me an email. You'll need to pay through PayPal if you're interested. Anybody can use PayPal. All you need is a credit card or a bank account, and it's easy to use. Doesn't cost anything, and I highly recommend it. I've never had problems with it, and they've been able to refund my money when I've had issues with sellers that didn't send the books. So I had that happen a couple times on Hip Comics where they just didn't send the books, and I had to request my money back. And twice I've had to go through PayPal to get my money back, and they usually refund it right away, actually. So it's a good thing to have if you buy stuff on the internet by sellers you do not know, such as off of eBay or any of the other auction sites. So yeah, if you want that, let me know. It's a big chunk of books. And also, I have, as long as I'm offering stuff at this point, I have all of the Convergence issues that we went through. There's a lot of issues here. There's 87 issues altogether for the Convergence 0 through number 8, I think it went up to. Yeah, Convergence 0 through 8. Yeah, you got the Action Comics miniseries, you got the Adventures of Superman miniseries, the Aquaman miniseries, the Atom miniseries, the Batgirl miniseries, the Batman and Robin miniseries, all of them that I've gone through on the channel. There's 87 issues, so that's what, $2 an issue is $8,706. A lot. Oh man. Math is hard, especially this late at night. I'm sorry. I should have had this written down already. But yeah, 87, so 14 and 160, like $174. Holy cow. At $2 an issue would be $174, but it is the entire set. Most of them do have the special covers, which I didn't like the special covers. These are actually the special covers. These aren't the main covers. The main covers look like, yeah, our regular, or the regular covers. Yeah, the main covers look like a regular cover of a series like this one on Action Comics 1 and 2. I didn't have the special covers for that one. So as a bonus for that one, I would throw in like all the extra Convergence issues that I've got. Because most of those are... Sorry, I'm trying to pick them out of the trade pile. Yeah, most of these are the regular covers. So you got another Convergence number 4 and number 8, and I think those are, yeah, see, those are different covers. Those are both number 4. These are both number 8, even though they're different covers. And then you got Adventures of Superman number 1, Green Lantern Parallax number 2, Nightwing and Oracle number 1, Plastic Man and Freedom Fighters number 2, and that's a great cover. I love that cover with Plastic Man all over the place. That's very cool. So I'd throw those all in if anybody wants that set as well. Kind of pricey. But I figured as long as I had them sitting here all together, I might as well offer them as a set in case anybody wanted them. So, yeah, $174 for Convergence. And then, what did I say Batwing was? $68 for Batwing with the bonuses. Free shipping on both. So just let me know. Claim it if you want it in the description, and then send me an email, and we'll get your PayPal figured out, and go from there. And if not, that's okay. You know, we're just here to have fun. If I have to, I'll list them on eBay or something. I don't really want to pay the fees, but you got to do what you got to do. So tomorrow, probably go through this other box of auction wins. I know there's at least one really cool comic in there I want to show you. So we'll see you tomorrow. I post a new video every day at noon. Thanks for watching. We're up to 48 minutes. This one took a while. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day. I hope you're having a great holiday season. I know Christmas, when you watch this, Christmas should be in a couple days. This should be like Christmas weekend. So I hope you're having a great time with your friends and family. And if you're not, if for some reason you're alone, just reach out to somebody. Reach out to a next door neighbor. Reach out to whoever. It's the Christmas season, man. They're gonna welcome you with open arms. I guarantee it. So have a great night, and we'll see you soon.